So this is the first chance I've gotten to test the new windscreen. It's a Memphis Shades El Paso. It is the 17-inch version. I got the 15-inch version without really doing my homework, and I had quite a bit of buffeting. I believe that this ought to do the trick, but there again, I wasn't very scientific about it. I just kind of took a guess, so it is what it is. It's kind of how I roll. It seems like it's threatening to rain, so I'm not sure how long I'm going to be out. And I got the brand new Vance Hines Slip-On, the Comp Series Slip-On, on. Works great at 49, but the problem is I'm not really near the interstate. I'm gonna have a hard time doing a really good test today too, because it's a little windy, and that's gonna make it worse than it would normally be, although it's often windy here, so I guess that would make that normal. Yes, I just tried to grab 6th gear, which doesn't exist. Temperature right now is in the 40s, about mid 40s, I believe. Ironically, we had weather in the 70s this past weekend, and I was still cold, so obviously I'm kind of got my winter fat going and kind of out of shape, so it is what it is. Typical American, right? This ought to be fun when the semi blasts by. Oh geez. I got a little light buffeting, but it's not anything like it was before. And the nice thing is that I'm not getting hardly anything on my chest. I'm getting a little bit of cold air on my neck, because the jacket I'm wearing is actually a summer jacket. It's a Firstgear, I'm not sure the exact model, but it's a mesh jacket. It has all the armor and everything in it, but it's mesh, so it breathes pretty well. And I'm not using the liner because I figured, you know, I'm going on a short ride, and I'm wearing a couple layers and a sweatshirt. You can get over now, thank you. Thanks for not hitting that lady and her dog, or me. Dogs hate this exhaust, so. At least all the dogs I've asked their opinion on it, they seem pretty pissed about it. With my stock exhaust, I never had dogs go after me or anything. And with this one, it seems like, especially dogs like German Shepherds, they will make a run for the road anytime I'm coming by. So what I do is I slow down so that if they do come out into the road, I can just accelerate and they can't really respond right to that. But if you try to outrun them and they get in your way, you could have a pretty good wipeout, and you don't want to kill somebody's dog unless you're, you know, a jerk. I think today I'm just going to do basically a loop around the block. It's of course about a 3 mile by 3 mile by 3 mile block, so basically the whole idea behind the windscreen is for long trips. Unless I get totally spoiled by it, which I might, I will take it off for just, you know, little around town things and stuff like that, but you never know. Another thing I'm checking out today is I got off of Amazon, I got these flexible microphones. It's very similar to one that some other bloggers have been using that was recommended. Spacebot in particular, kind of, you know, he's the guy that, wow, I can't even think of the word. He inspired this particular setup. Should be interesting to see. I got the blackout housing yesterday and I drilled a hole in it, and then I tried to cut it out as clean and smooth as I could so that the USB adapter would fit. The only thing I don't like is the straight adapter from GoPro sticks out way too far. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do, I have seen a 90 degree adapter out there. So I'm thinking that's what I'm going to end up going with in the long run. And hopefully it'll be reliable. I'm just a little bit worried about the GoPro having that sharp angle on it, that it might, you know, wear out. And I've screwed myself out of this. I'm not going to be able to make this turn for a minute. Oh well, I get to check out the new exhaust. It certainly changes the character of the bike. It takes it from a mild-mannered bike to something that sounds like a bit of a hooligan ride. It's got some of those tones similar to a Harley, but I like the sound a lot better because it's obvious this is a little bit more, I don't want to say refined engine, but it is. It's a little more refined engine than I think a Harley is. It certainly makes power differently than a Harley. The 883 in particular. The 883 tends to make its power in the higher revs than the Bolt does. And this has a lot more low-end torque, which, you know, makes it a little bit more interesting in a little drag race between the two. Love that sound. And like that, I'm doing double the speed limit. I better slow down. It's at 20, which is a little bit ridiculous if you ask me. That's like parking lot speed. Well, 15 maybe is parking lot speed. And I just realized that I left my my permit. I'm still on my learner's permit, believe it or not. And the story behind that is I had my motorcycle endorsement in Ohio, and when I moved to Indiana from Ohio, I did not own a bike, and the DMV didn't seem to understand the concept of my endorsement, and they said I needed to get a letter from Ohio and all this crap. So I said forget it. I didn't own a bike at the time, so I didn't worry about it. And fast forward about 10 years, and I got a bike again, so that was not my best idea ever. So I'm going to cut this video a little bit short because I'm going to go by the house and get my license, and I'd prefer not to take you with me. No offense.